This is it, the end of an era. This is officially my very last video in the studio. Everything has been cleaned out, the floor in my new place is done, painters are currently in, and I can guarantee the next video will not be in here. But this video, of course, is on the Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus, and it's crazy how time flies. I've been using these as my daily drivers for the past 60 days, 2 months, even though I was just in Barcelona for the launch, it seems, the other day. As an extra little bonus too, I am working with Rogers on this one, and they are giving one of you guys your very own Galaxy S9 Plus. I've actually got an Instagram pic that will go live the exact same time you're watching this video, so go check that out, leave a comment, and of course follow me over there, sub to the YouTube channel, leave a comment on this video, and a S9 Plus will be shipped out to one of you peeps. Of course, I will make that announcement in my new spot. The first question, should you grab the S9 or the bigger brother, the S9 Plus? The display size, 5.8 inches or 6.2, and unless you just have small hands, you really like the small form factor, the S9 Plus is where it's at. This phone has the best display that I've currently seen on a smartphone. Samsung is always known to have great displays. It is similar to the S8, but it is in fact brighter, it is in fact better, and it's just so gorgeous to look at, and that's the reason why you'd want the larger screen. Second reason, the S9 Plus has 6 gigs of RAM compared to the 4 gigs on the S9, so that's great for longevity. And of course, if you look at the back, the camera, which we'll talk about, this has the dual camera, the extra telephoto lens, compared to the single one on just the standard S9. Other than that, the experience is obviously great on both devices as they share the same internals, obviously except for that RAM difference. This is hands down the fastest Samsung phone that I've used, and it's actually pretty similar to the experience on the Google Pixel 2. Obviously, minus the fact that we don't have stock Android, we still have TouchWiz over top, but it is very fluid, not as much stutter or lag that you sometimes see, not as many hiccups, but of course you have to deal with the not getting updates as quickly. They just have to do something about Bixby, which I think is one of the key things or detriments that still plagues the Galaxy phones, all Samsung phones in general. You can still see that I have not set mine up in the 2 months that I've used it. I actually disable this button, which just means it's a dead button that doesn't activate anything. I wish you could map this to Google Assistant. It's something that I think Samsung just needs to figure out, or at least give us the option to use either. So other than Bixby, I still think the TouchWiz experience isn't that bad. You get all those little extra features that normally come with TouchWiz, like Live Edge. Not saying that I use it all the time, but it is there. Getting now to the design aspect, and that's something that also still remains very similar from last year, the S8. You really won't be able to tell too much of a difference, especially front facing, but when you switch to the back, that's where the little fingerprint sensor has changed, and Samsung has listened to people. It's now in a better location. It's quick and accurate and tracks heart rate and even blood pressure if you want. Getting to the back is where Samsung really wants you to focus this year. It's the camera reimagined. And this is the first camera that has a dual aperture setup, so it actively changes between f2.4 and 1.5. You can also actively change that in manual settings, but one thing that I do wish, if it could sense that I was taking macro photos, it would switch actively to f1.5 to give more of a blurred out background effect. It's just one of those little quirks that always doesn't work well. The camera shots are good. I won't give it the title of the best smartphone camera. I still think that belongs to the Pixel 2. In Samsung fashion, shots are slightly overexposed, colors are very bright, very saturated, and I do find the dynamic range on this guy is better, especially from last year. Where this guy really shines, literally, is the low light shots. I've been so impressed, and I think Samsung really takes advantage of the f1.5 aperture. You can see here, I was at a lovely sushi restaurant as the sun was setting, got into nighttime, and it blew away anything that I got out of my iPhone, even the Pixel 2. That's where the S9 is the best. It takes the low light award for smartphone photography. Something that I mentioned in my initial review, but still want to really hit home, is how good these speakers are on this phone. I think this is the low-key best feature of the S9s. You'll get the greatest media experience when you're watching YouTube videos, hopefully me, playing games. I was rocking some PUBG. And once again, comparing to the other benchmarks, the iPhone, the Pixel, I think the S9 takes home another category for an award. Best smartphone speakers. One thing that I have noticed, especially in the last 2 months, is the battery life on this guy gets precariously close to 0 by the end of the day, especially on heavy use. If I'm on social media all day, I'm watching a couple YouTube videos, I'm playing some PUBG, some graphic intensive games, I find that the end of the day around midnight, 1 a.m., it's around 5%. Luckily, you can always juice it up. Wireless charging is great. It does charge nice and quick. It's just something to consider if you are a very, very heavy user. 3,500 milliamps, even on the S9 Plus, might not cut it. And yeah, I guess other little quirks like say Animojis, which I predicted from day one I wouldn't use, still haven't sent one. It's waterproof, the design is beautiful, it's even got the headphone jack that I know a lot of people will still be happy about. It's one of the best flagships that you can currently buy, and it's actually cheaper than the Note 8, and that I would definitely grab the S9 Plus over that. That is it for this review and my final vid in this studio. Hope you guys enjoyed it and will accompany me on my journey to my new spot. We'll catch the rest of you in one of my next episodes or vlogs. It's been a time. Peace.